I think finally understand why. There. I think I understand why I like to have this very case
Federal court.
taken out of Superior Court
Hold it in front of you.
and be taken to the district court. Several reasons, but the main reason is I don't trust this government anymore. Okay?
Good.
First and foremost, good example. I'm a legislator X. I give myself X number of dollars at the expense of my friend there not getting enough. She has to pay rent, just like the rest of us. That's not fair, is it? And I don't trust people who render judgments when they themselves are also the parties to this thing, because they are going to be retirees, government employees, right? So that's conflict of interest, quite obviously. I don't trust this forum. And I have said this many times. Not only is it unfair, it makes me angry, just like the rest of you. Okay?
Should be angry.
And so we may not get the legal remedies, but it is quite possible we can do it through equitable remedies. What's the difference? Equitable remedies is basically, is it fair? And I don't think there's anybody here that would say it's fair to leave it here so they can deplete the fund till we're totally tied from salvation. And that's the reason. I'm going to stop right here because I'm starting to be angry.
Don't get angry.
Don't be.
Okay?
Yeah, don't be.
get angry.
And I'm justifiably angry.
Yeah.
All right? And so, how can we do this?
Mm.
It's up to the judge. I'm not going to talk about it because it's still there. I mean, judge, when I say judge, it's the judge at the district court to decide whether we'll have remedies or not. I'm going to stop right here. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ray, is this your lawsuit or you're talking about the lawsuit of the retirement fund?
It's on behalf of retirement fund. I'm retiring myself,
Yeah,
so I do it
yeah.
personally.
Yeah, but
Because
the
I'm
lawsuit
standing
that-
to sue
But
because
the lawsuit that was filed in the district court is a lawsuit that was filed by the retirement fund, the trustee.
it's a totally different thing.
We're not the trustee.
No.
No, that's
We're the
not,
trustor.
that's a different thing.
Yeah, but that's why I'm asking, that's my question.
Can
Yeah, what's the difference
Made
is-
it clear.
Yeah, okay. What would you like me to explain? Because I have a
No,
bit mixed up.
what is the lawsuit about?
Oh.
I want to take this case and give it to the federal government to decide.
You're talking about the present case.
Yes.
Our case, yes.
It's not our case.
My case. Okay? It's not the trustees, it's my own case.
It's the judgment, right?
It's a
Yeah.
judgment. I say,
Judgment.
pay us the money, darn it.
Yeah.
You owe us money, just like what she said.
Yeah.
How long can we wait? You
Yeah.
tell me.
So,
For me to increase my own, 150,000, maybe 75,000 a year? And you expect me to see the money the other tomorrow? It's going to be depleted. It's going to be gone. That's the point. So I'm worried about not just me, but the rest of us, everybody. 6,000, you have two dependents, you multiply by 6,000, that's simple arithmetic. So it's not really fair. And I don't think we'll get any fair treatment out of this. Yeah.
so in other words, what you're trying to do is take it out of the hands of Govendo and put it into the federal court so that
Yes.
there will not be any conflict of interest because
No
right
conflict.
now,
Right.
there's a lot of
Understand.
conflict of interest there.
Absolutely.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
There is nothing of interest. Because he
Don't have the right to do that.
he was appointed by a governor. And we haven't seen any money going into the retirement fund. And that's a violation of what? Well,
Conflict of interest. Yeah, trust.
Article 3, Section 20. If you want a question about the ethics, Article 19. You look it up, it's our Constitution. Violation of which is very bad, right? And we feel the consequences thereof. Yes.
Sapuro, you need to explain, though, that you have done that, you've made that move and taken it to the district court. However, the trustees, the
pulling
retirement
it
fund
back.
trustees, have already filed, I think,
To
I
pull
could
it
be
back, to
wrong, but I
remand it,
think
yeah.
they've already filed to remand that back
Yeah.
to the Superior
I
Court.
understand. What's
So-
the purpose? For the money to go back and sit there till it's
No,
depleted?
that's what we don't understand.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
explaining that
Yeah.
some of them probably
Yeah.
don't know that
Maybe
that
you
has.
explain that.
You
Yeah.
need to explain the whole process where it
Okay,
is.
when they say remand, it means take it back to where it came from.
To the
Right.
Superior
Okay.
Court,
Right.
yeah.
So
And I
that-
said,
and
heck
think-
no.
And I
Yeah.
think
Give
that,
it to somebody who is not part of this island.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Give it to
that,
somebody who is from, let's say, state of California.
but it hasn't been decided
hasn't
yet.
been-
Yeah.
Has it?
Once the
Okay.
case is been taken out of here,
Mhm.
removal, okay,
It's,
pursuant to
Yeah.
certain laws, there's nothing you can do about it. Govendo cannot do anything. It's been taken, it's like.
It's already taken out,
Yeah, it's
yeah?
already
Okay.
taken out.
Okay.
You take it out from your money from the bank, that's it. What's there to deal with? Nothing.
nothing.
Someone has to decide for you.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's fair at the moment.
Got it.
So what are you asking?
Yes,
Nothing.
I'm sorry?
Eric?
Yes, just a question, it sounds good. I just have heard different things. I know in a prior presentation to the retirees, there was a point made that if it did go to federal court, the possibility may exist, and maybe mixed up in my, but executor could be named and they could just say, let's liquidate. And
What's the difference? Where
split
are you
the
at now,
assets,
though?
let's liquidate
You're at
this
3
thing.
years
That could
right
be
now
the
without
risk
it.
of a federal court.
Possibly, but
taking over.
I'm not a judge. That's up to the judge. That's why we trust these guys up there. And hopefully they'll come up with a very equitable solution. Yes.
The case that you are now working on, is there a hope of success? Are we going to be able to get our money back into the retirement fund? Or
That I don't know, quite honestly.
the reason why I'm asking is this: we all know that this government. Can you read it?
Yeah.
We all know that this government can only raise $101 to $102 million a year. There are thousands of people that are presently working for the government. There are other projects that has to be funded. Do you really think that the government is going to come across with the amount of money that they owe us? Not in your life. I can tell you right now. We might as well accept the fact. That's why I'm asking Mr. Raphand whether or not he's going to be successful in getting the money into the tilt so that we can continue to receive money from the government that they owe us. Okay? I really don't think that they're going to be able to do it. I'm sorry to be saying this, but you know, there are certain assets that needs to be liquidated. Okay? The retirement building, sell the damn thing. Rent it out so that we can get some money. Why is it that we are so afraid to make that big move?
That's what his case is.
We ought to try to do that. Look at the asset of the government. Require the government to do the work, not us. It's not our job to bail the government out. It is their own darn fault that we are in the situation that we're in. We got to understand that. And therefore, I suggest that we urge the legislature, which is really the board of directors of the government, to do something, okay? And the way to do that is to look at the asset and liquidate some of the asset that we got so that we can pay the bill.
You're not in
Okay?
that.
This is my suggestion.
You get something today or you'll never get it because the government is literally defunct. That's a fact. No more money.
Okay.
Get it now or never.
Okay.
It's up to you. Thank you.
I've been sitting here listening to this. I'm sick and tired of the excuses. There are resources available to this government that could solve this whole mess. They refuse to act on it. I'm talking about the spodumene on the island of Poggen. They refuse to mine it. They refuse to give contracts. They sit up there, they stick the shaft all of us. I don't know what they're trying to save that stuff for. It's not going to turn into gold. But it could sure solve this mess. They just get a mining company in there and get something out of it. It's not that the government is broke. It's they won't get out their butts and do anything. And a lot of talk tonight about cutting benefits. My concern is what's going to happen to my life insurance and when they close the fund. I'm 72 years old.
It's gone.
I got a bad heart, I'm diabetic, There's no insurance company in this world that's going to ever sell me insurance again. So when they dump me out of the policy, I am up the creek, and I don't tend to go there peacefully.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Felipe Torres Ferran. There's a lot of corruption here in the Commonwealth. But if you touch something that is not yours, so we have to continue, bring it to court. Let's be fair, because of people suffering. Everything suffers, water, power, sewer. Now it's the retirement money. You know, God is watching us, so be careful. And I don't want it under the table. Please, it's not fair. If I touch the money, okay, I make mistakes, I have to pay back. Put me in jail, but please, we have to continue. Fight for this one. Because this is our people, the people of the Commonwealth. I'm not afraid to anybody, because I was sure to work, and I'm retired for sure. I do it right. Watch out, because everywhere you go, God is watching you. Thank you, God bless you.
Ruth?
Can I have a mic? Thank you. I'm not opposed to moving the case to the federal court because of the handicap or barrier that exists in trying to collect through the Superior Court. On the other hand, I think the timing was atrocious, because as we heard Sixto say, this next hearing that was going to be held in Govendo's court was going to do some real clarifying and identification of next steps that were going to be productive. And now that whole thing has been put on hold. And it's going to be put on hold for months and months and months and months, because it's going to take time to find a federal judge to come over here and take this on. It's going to take time for him to come up to speed on this. It's going to take time to get it all scheduled, and I bet it'll be a year before anything happens in the federal court. And we can't, and the retirement fund cannot wait that long. We need something to happen prior to that. The other problem with taking it to federal court the way it's been taken to court is that, and I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think anybody can deny it, that the attorney who's involved is suspect. He is barred from practice in the CNMI. There's got to have been a reason for that. And yet he's the one that everybody is going to trust to handle this in federal court. I'm sorry, I can't go along with that. It has to be done by a reputable law firm, a reputable attorney, and it has to be done in an appropriate legal way, not this fancy little footstep about unilaterally, without status, taking it and putting it in automatic removal to the federal court. It's wrong, and it shouldn't happen, and I just want to express my feeling. I have major reservations. I think it's not the right thing to do at this time. Thank you.
Very good. Well, one of the things that about the case being removed from the Superior Court, moved to the District Court, is that the District Court is the only court that can decide if they will take the case or not.
That's right, but you get a lawyer that's
That's
legitimate.
a point well taken.
I want to make a final comment, but I need to ask a question first. What happened to if the board now, is Richard still here? Yeah, thank you. It is unfortunate that the bond was not approved by the people during the last election.
That's right.
Because the bond would have been the only answer to the problem. I do not know who campaigned against it. I campaigned for it, and I got practically everybody that I know voted on it, but it unfortunately did not pass by the electorate during the last election. It would have solved this problem. I do not know much about the bond. Perhaps maybe Oscar can explain that to us. But the way it was explained at the multipurpose center when we had that meeting, it was designed in such a way that it would be making payment to the retirement fund, and that the government will have some surplus almost every month, which is going to be set aside to put for to be used for future payment to the retirement or something like that. But unfortunately, it did not pass. I don't care. You know, the retirement has some properties, and the government has some properties too, and they could be liquidated to pay for the government debt. But you know, it's not going to be enough. What, you know, if we are able to sell or the government is able to sell the Hyatt Regency tomorrow, it's going to bring in maybe 63 million. But you know, when that 63 million is gone, what is there to sell again? We're going to sell the Royal Canada. We're going to the World Resort, Can Pacific. We're going to sell Saipan. Do we want to do that? I think, you know, the angle that I would take is to see whether we can get the legislature to pass the legislation necessary to do the bond. If it is only the people, then let's work hard to try to put it on next year's election. Because to me, that seems to be the only way. We can raise the money, or we can get this government to raise enough money so that they can pay what they owe us. Thank you.
We have someone in the back here who wants to make a comment. You need the mic?
No.
Thanks. I'm a very big voice, so bear with me.
Yeah.
I don't know if any one of you have been approached by casino proponents, because I have been approached by a high-profile casino proponent, and I was told that the only thing that will save the fund, the retirement fund, is casino. I had a very good excuse because this was in a funeral, so I had a very good excuse just to walk away. And I hope that the word that comes to my mind with all the troubles that the fund has been experiencing.
No.
Thanks. I'm a very big voice, so bear with me.
Yeah.